thank you. For Lisa. So, Carrie's been with me since the very beginning. And that in itself, we've been on this ride and this journey together, and it never ever felt like it started with just me. It always felt like it started with me and Carrie and Sam. And watching her grow throughout this year has been completely unbelievable. Like, my passion, honestly, you guys, is as the team grows, it's helping all of you. That's what lights my fire now. And watching this team grow and you all grow as coaches has been amazing. And Carrie went on a roller coaster ride last year. She was filled with self-doubt, and I know she's going to go through it, but she delved into personal development, and she's come on the other side of it. And I'm excited and ready with my notebook to write down notes to hear what her aha moment was and how she is transforming herself from, like she said, from a hobby coach to a business coach. She went from someone who was filled with all of this fear to this fierce businesswoman. And it's been eye-opening, incredible to watch. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Carrie. I love you. Mwah.
All right, so I know you guys, and I still get nervous when I'm asked to speak about something. So I'm just going to get my wiggles out. Okay. All right, so I am so excited to talk to you guys because it really has been a roller coaster of a year. And Lindsay invited me to do this with her last February. And I could go on and on and on with you guys about the downs, the downs, the highs that would happen. But where I want to begin with you guys is, honestly, I didn't realize it, but it took me a little while. I really struggled with confidence, big time. And I was struggling with my identity, with what I wanted to do with fitness and nutrition. I was already a nurse. I was working Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And we did that so that I could be home with my kids. But when the weekends came, my husband and I would always kind of be at each other's throat because I would be gone, he would be taking care of the kids. And it was just this back and forth that for a long time. When I had my son Mason, I was on maternity leave, and I got a great taste of being a stay-at-home mom. And I loved it. I loved all the craziness of it. And then when Lindsay asked me to do a challenge group, I even had fear then because I was afraid that I'd fail. I was afraid that I wouldn't lose the weight. I was afraid that I wouldn't get back to where I was before. I had 2 kids. It was going to be crazy. But I did it. I did it, and I kept on doing it. So then when Lindsay asked me to, you know what, you need to coach, it brought back a lot of fears for me because 2 years before that, my husband actually bought me a website, bought me an email, bought me everything. And I looked at him and I said, thank you, but no thanks. I can't do it. I'm too afraid. I'm too scared to put myself out there. I was comparing myself to everybody else. I wasn't in the perfect shape. I didn't have the perfect nutrition. The list goes on about all the self-doubt that I was starting to put into myself, and I completely shut it down. I never even looked at the website that he got for me, and he paid for it. I was just so set in my mind that it's not happening. So as I developed as being a Beachbody coach, it was a freaking roller coaster. I was doing personal development. I started with The Secret, loved it, started kind of implementing what I was reading. And I was like, wow, this crazy kind of works. So I kept on doing it. I kind of almost became obsessed with personal development and the growth that could come from it. And I started, asking friends and family, do you want to get a challenge bag? Do you want to join? Blah, blah, blah. And they would. And the thing that happened for me is that my warm market went cold really quick. And friends and family weren't reaching out. They weren't asking about what I was doing. And then I really struggled with what am I doing working with a multi-level marketing business. I have a nursing degree, and what am I doing? Yeah, I was just like really struggling with it. I wasn't connecting with it. I felt like people thought I was foolish. I thought I was foolish. So in came fear, the self-doubt, and my confidence just plummeted. I kept on doing the workouts myself. I kept on reaching out to people here and there. I would just, I would sell a challenge pack here and there, but I wasn't connecting with it like a business. And so I'm trying to stay on point with what I'm trying to say. So what really made me realize what I wanted to do with this was when we moved to Texas. We made a lot of changes with our income, our life, and everything. And I made the commitment to stay at home with my kids. And to be able to do that, it kind of freaked me out because I was used to always working. I was used to always creating some sort of income. And I wasn't doing that yet with Beachbody. And I spoke with Lindsay about this a lot about, I don't know, I can go back to nursing real easily, like it's there. And Lindsay would always say to me, like, you need to stop using that as a crutch. You need to stop it. Like, either you want this or you don't. And I'm not saying everybody has to quit their day job. Like, I was a mom. I wanted to be at home with my kids. And I wrote down on my goal that I wanted to create something. I didn't know what the heck it was. I just knew that I wanted to create something. I went to the extent of looking into getting my nutrition schooling. It was going to cost me $75,000 to do that. That was checked off the list. I looked into going back and becoming a personal trainer. That was going to cost $1,000 and time. And I checked that off the list. I was like, I just can't do that right now. And then I just kept on listening to the podcast and reading. And Chalene Johnson just kept on saying, like, people aren't successful with multi-level marketing because they're trying to sell the product. They're not selling themselves. And that's when I was like, oh, okay. It doesn't matter. Beachbody can sell this stuff, no problem. It's me. People have to want me. I have to believe in this. And that's when I really had to work on my confidence. So for myself, working on my confidence meant knowing my shit. So I really had to know what I was doing and why. So I dove in. I reached out to Lindsay. I said, I'm taking December off. And I was nervous. I was nervous to tell her because I thought she was going to think that I wasn't giving it my all. I thought she was going to think like, oh no, Carrie's like flaking out or whatever. And I shut it down for the month of December. I was already dabbling with my website, and a point that I forgot there. Guys, if you are thinking about doing a blog, you just need to do it. I was reading the book, You Are a Badass, and I was reading all these great books, blah, 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 blah. And then it was like, yay, that's great. I've got all this motivation. Now what do I do? So no lie, it was like a random day during the week, and I was reading that book, and it said, just do it already. Like, just do it. So I got up, I went out to my computer, I signed on to WordPress. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea why I was doing it or anything. Somebody in a book told me to do it, so I did it. So I created it. I didn't have a name for it yet. I didn't have anything for it. I started writing. I just word vomited all over my website because it was mine. It was my virtual way of putting myself out there to people, and I knew that by doing this, it was just going to keep on growing, and it was just through consistent behavior that it was going to go somewhere. The name just came to me one day, Simply Living Healthy Today. It spoke to me because I love creating simple meals. I love creating nutrition and making it easy for busy moms. So, and then I believe that you just got to do it today. You don't want to talk about what you did yesterday. You don't want to worry about tomorrow. You got to do it today. So that's how that kind of connected for me. And then it sat. I mean, it just sat there. I didn't know what to do with it. I just kept on diving into podcasts with Chalene Johnson, Lewis Howes, Entrepreneur on Fire. And Shalene kept on talking about these dang, like, free, give something away free. So I kept on getting nervous about, all right, so I've got to create these webinars, and I got to do this, and I got to do that. And then I was just like, I'm not there yet. So yes, build your tribe. Yes, that one's awesome. So I realized quickly that giving something free to somebody is just giving them something that means something to you and giving it to them. That's it. I mean, it's as simple as, hey, I tried this workout and I want to share it with you. Hey, I made this today. Like, I give free stuff away. I didn't realize it's like I'm already giving free stuff away to people all the time. I'd be on the phone with people. They'd be calling me for advice. It finally clicked, like, this advice can be on my website. I can reach more people, and I can put this out there to them. So a couple of the things that meant something to me were learning to take that personal development and turn it into action and making it an actual business. So the night that we had the call with Melanie Mitro, and I was struggling with connecting a system. Like, what's my system? I would wake up in the morning, I would kind of talk to somebody, I would kind of put up a post, I would kind of like a few things here and there. It was a kind of, and like, I was just kind of, I'm done for the day. That's not going to get you anywhere. And like, I didn't realize that. I thought I was annoying people. I thought people thought, like, this crazy girl or whatever. So think of it this way, and this is what really clicked with me. All right, you're single. You want to meet somebody. Are you going to be a creep on Facebook, or are you going to put your best foot forward? Are you going to be the most unique you? Okay, so that's how your page should look. It should look put together. It should look like, I'm putting it out there and I'm going to get me a man, but we're not getting men, we're getting women. So, so essentially, Mark, my husband Mark, said this to me one day. He's like, you gotta like court these girls. And I was like, you know what? You're right. You don't just, and that's when I started reaching out to other people. And I've said this before, I don't lead with Beachbody. I don't even lead with a challenge group. I lead with, hey, this is me, blah, 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 blah. I've got kids. They're crazy. This was my day today. What was yours? Like, and then either somebody relates to it and they write back and we start courting each other. We're like connecting. We're building something. And then they already know, because I've already put it out there. They already know on my Facebook. They already know on my like page. They already know I've got a website. They already know I'm on Instagram. They already know that, okay, this girl is into fitness. This girl's into beach body, blah, blah, blah. So I don't have to lead with it. I don't have to be creepy. I don't have to be like, hi, I'm Carrie. You want to join a challenge group? It's sort of cool, blah, blah, blah. It's just, I lead with being myself, just like I would if I were meeting somebody new. And I try to talk to people that way. So a system that I started doing is Megan Howe in the group was like, Carrie, you need to get in on one of these like mom groups in your area. And I was like, oh, duh. Like, I'm trying to be a virtual online coach. I need to be doing stuff online. So I joined a group, and I literally just will scroll through halfway of it. And usually I'll connect with about 4 or 5 of the posts, like no problem, right away. Like, we already have so much in common. So I start talking. Then if they like or they respond to something, I friend request them. And then I wait a day, that don't call for 2 days thing. So then I'll wait, and then I'll send them a message. Thank you so much for accepting my friend request, blah, 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 blah. And that is kind of the system that I went with. I went from not really having a clue what I was doing, not really connecting with people a lot, and not being consistent with it, to thinking I was a slimy multi-level marketing, like trying to just get you to buy a challenge pack from me. And that wasn't what I wanted to do. I really wanted to make it personal. And I remember saying that to Lindsay when we first started doing this together. I said, I really want to make this personal for somebody. So those are the systems that I do. So I work with one group right now, and I go in, I make connections with people. You're not going to make connections with everybody. Not everybody's going to like you. So the best thing you can do is put who you are out there, and they can decide in a matter of seconds if they like you or not. And if they don't, if they want to hate, they're going to hate. If they like you, they're going to engage with you. They're going to be watching. That's why we have to be so consistent, because even if they don't say something right away, they're following you in the background. And I had to get over the fact that I'm not going to be everybody's friend, because a part of me wants to be a people pleaser. I want everybody to like me, and I can't. And I shared with everybody on the last call about what happened in the group, and people like kind of getting burnt out by people that were selling It Works, or what's the other one? I don't remember. Plexus. But it's all in your approach. We all buy things. We all we're constantly shopping. We're constantly being marketed no matter where we are. So do it in a loving, caring, genuine way. And like, there was something that I wanted to just share with. I have so many ideas, and like, I want you guys to be able to ask questions on anything that I may have missed. But I went to Super Sunday yesterday. It was my first one in Dallas, and it lit a fire under my butt like crazy. This is real. You really have potential, and you can either look at a crowd of people and say, I'll never measure up to them, or you can look at a crowd of people and say, there's only one me, and that's what matters. That's what counts. And I'm going to make damn sure everybody knows the best parts of me. And when I'm not my best, when I am failing, because people, I'm not saying like, you get it. But just be real, be honest. And for myself, I really had to get over the fact that I was involved in multi-level marketing. I had to get over those fears. I had to go from personal development to business to development to continuing my personal development. So one thing that they shared on Super Sunday that I really, really wanted to share with you guys was, and then they called it Boost. So if you want to write it down, it was how to boost your business for this year. So for B, and it was Fit and Funky, Danielle Natoni. I don't know if you know her, but friend request her or follow her on Facebook. She knows what she's doing. And I will tell you, when I first followed her, I was intimidated by her. I immediately was like, I don't look like that. I don't act like that. I don't sound like that. I'm not going to be that. And I literally shut down from like Beachbody and social media because I was whatever. And then I had that mind shift, and I was like, that girl's going to be my friend, and she's going to meet me, and she's going to not know what came. So it's a mindset change that like really happens. So anyways, Boost. B, and I thought this was really, really funny. Breathe. Just breathe. Oh, all of us, we just got to do it sometimes. And I do this too. I'm like, I'll call Lindsay. I'm like, I just want to hit Success Club. Like, why aren't I hitting it? Blah, blah, blah. And these programs are awesome. Why aren't people getting it? And it's just breathe. All right. Because the programs will sell themselves. And as soon as I start feeling that way, I know I gotta bring it down. I gotta refocus. I've got to remember why I'm doing this and why this would connect with somebody else and why this would help somebody else. So a big thing that they said about new products that are coming out, like, she was really funny. She said, don't be the creepy person on Facebook that just keeps on sharing that same picture that Beachbody put out, and it's it's just, it looks like this, and you just keep saying, like, this is the program I'm doing. She was like, get creative with it. And I know we do so good with that. So just keep on being creative with it, and sharing how it's working in your life and how you're doing it. Originality is I like fitness. You guys like fitness. You like to eat healthy food. You like Shakeology. Yeah, it's all the same. So what? You're going to say something about Shakeology, but you're going to say it differently than I am. You're going to do a different picture. You're going to have something different about it, no matter what. And that's what attracts people. There's how many different car companies, and so who cares? Like, stop thinking about what other people are doing and just realize you are already original, and just put your blinders on and just go with it. Get organized was the next O, and that's what that's one. And Lindsay and I talked about this. I called her and I said, I am on such a high right now. I need a freaking Ativan. She was like, Carrie, she goes, you've got scatterbrain. You've got high energy scatterbrain. And I was like, you're right, I do. And like, I would have all these ideas, but that's all they were doing. They were just ideas, and I wasn't harnessing them and putting them somewhere. So they were making me feel crazy. So make a pact with yourself that when you start to feel this way, do that brain dump and really write it down, because you could have some really, really good ideas, but you might not have the time. You might have a toddler screaming at you about peeing in their pants. So you can't really draw to it. So, so just get yourself organized. Know your system. Set hours for yourself. That was one of the best things I could have done. Dang it, the best thing I could have done. I did not want to be attached to freaking Facebook. I love it. I love what it can do, but it's not my husband. It's not my kids. So I had to get a system. I had to be like, if I want to be up and I want to do these things before the kids go crazy, then I've got to get up at this time. And if I don't, then I know that my business has to take a back seat because the kids are up. And I had to realize that, because I was struggling with that. I was struggling with like business and family and kids. And it is a sacrifice. Like if you want it to be a business, I realized I got to get up and I got to do this. And sometimes I don't want to, but that was the best way that I got myself organized. And once I did that, it didn't feel like work. It didn't feel like I was working like a scatterbrain. It felt like I was helping people. It felt like I was working towards something for myself and for my family. And that was my ultimate goal. And then the next one is systems. So I kind of just talked on that, creating that system. So I literally took Melanie Mitro's call and I re-listened to it and I wrote down her entire system, and it works. It's that simple. I can forward this to all of you guys. It's just her call and her literally being like, I wake up at this time. I sign in. I check in with my challengers. I do this. I do that. I do this. I ignore these conversations. I focus on these conversations. Bada bing, bada boom. So that's one thing with systems that really helped me. And then track your progress. Don't work too hard. If you got a post that you did like 6 months ago and you got 24 likes from it and it was from people and it's not all your Beachbody coaches, it's other people, reuse that dang post and rewrite it, retweak it. And I had to realize that too. I started this last year. I can reuse all of last year's pictures, some of them, and I can rewrite something because people didn't see them. People didn't know what I was doing yet. So that's another way of tracking your progress and knowing what's working and what's not. I finally got into boosting and creating ads, and that is how you're really going to reach outside of your warm market. And it is an investment. I will say so far I've invested probably $200 in over the past few months, probably just the past 2 months to really boost. that's something I chose to do because I kind of went from that, this is just for fun, to I really want to grow this. So I'm trying to think, but I'd love to hear if you guys have any like specific questions. And another thing that I'm doing right now is, because I already hit Success Club this month, I'm not done. I'm not like turning it off and slowing down. I'm already on to February. I'm already saying to myself, my challenge group is running, my challenge group is closed, and let's talk about February. So anybody that I'm talking to now, I'm gearing them up and getting them excited for the next month. So if you guys want to ask any questions, or if Lindsay wants to, oh, wait a minute. I need to say thank you to my girl, Lindsay. All right, because you guys, now it's time to get all mushy-gushy, and then I'm going to sign off here. Honestly, okay, it's happening. Honestly, guys, like, I didn't want to get emotional, but I had struggled with a long time about wanting to be involved in fitness and nutrition, and I seriously have like $100,000 in student loan debt, and like I wasn't fulfilling my passion when I was going to work, and I was talking to people about fitness and nutrition, and they weren't doing anything with it, and it really, really bothered me a lot. And I wanted to be with my kids, I wanted to be with my husband, and I swear to you, because Lindsay asked me to do this, like, so much has changed. I packed my bags, I moved to Texas. Like, I just kept on going after this vision that I wanted, that I wanted for my family, that I didn't want to think that it was stupid anymore. I didn't want to think that I had to do what everybody else was telling me to do. I felt this fire and this yearning in my heart, and Lindsay had the balls to just ask me, and we knew each other, but we didn't know each other like that, and that took that girl guts. So I'm so grateful, and like that's how powerful this is. And like, I'm not a diamond coach, but I've got the mindset of a freaking millionaire. So, and I had the mindset of a 40-hour employee with benefits and health insurance, and like, not no more. All right. So I held back the tears a little bit, but thank you, Lindsay.
Oh my God. Now I'm like fighting back tears too. Carrie, seriously, like, I think I speak for everyone where like the fire has been lit. Like, it has been incredible just listening to what you're doing. Like, you're this, and I know I said this the other day in the car, like, you're this incredible businesswoman right before my eyes. Like, you don't have a background in that. Like, you don't have a background in marketing and social media and, you know, communication.
I literally learned by fire. I learned by like, oh, that was the wrong button to press. That
But you know, a question that I have that I think would benefit everyone, like, do you remember what was that moment that you went, because you delved into personal development, and I know we've had conversations about going from reading about it to doing it and implementing it into your Beachbody business, you know? And I just wonder if there was a certain time where like it just clicked, or what action you took that took away that fear.
There was, and I forgot to share this. So it was, a couple of moments happened, but I will tell you the most distinct one was, I actually wrote about this on my blog, and it sounds kind of corny, but like, I went out with my daughter, and we were going to go get our nails done or whatever. And I went to the bank account to withdraw money, and I saw the amount of money in the bank account, and I was just kind of like, oh man, like, money goes really fast, and I'm not working right now, and this sucks. And I went home. I was angry, and for whatever reason, when something bothers me, I project it on my husband, poor guy. And so I was just like, what is this? This is ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. Like, how are we supposed to get anywhere? Like, I'm getting a nursing job. I have to get a nursing job. I can't just be a stay-at-home mom. I'm not making anything. I'm not doing anything, blah, blah, blah. And he kept on trying to tell me that I had the most important job, but I still struggled with it. I went upstairs. I whipped out my laptop. I started looking at nursing jobs. I started looking at where I was going to apply, and I stopped dead in my tracks. I felt so sick to my stomach. And that was just for me. That was just how powerful it was for me. And then I had this thought to myself, Carrie, you're not a nurse. And I was like, all right, I can live with that. I'd be okay if nobody ever knew that I was a nurse. Then I said to myself, Carrie, you're not a coach. You're not a coach. You're not helping anybody. You're not going to get to share this with anybody. You're not going to do any of this. And it literally, it like scared me. It made me like angry. It made me feel like I needed to do it. I wasn't ready to give up on it. And I, for an entire day, told myself, you're not a coach. You're not a coach today, Carrie. You're not. Nobody gets it. How does that make you feel? Like, that's just how I am. Like, that's how I talk to myself. I'm a very deep, emotional person. So, like, I did that for an entire day. And I looked over my goals, and I kept on writing in my goals, I want to create something. I want to create something. And I was really struggling with that and, like, what on earth I was supposed to create. And I finally realized I was already doing it. I just wasn't over the fears yet. And once I finally let go of that fear of, like, nursing being a crutch and me not being good enough, that's when I took a step back. I said, I'm taking a month off, and I'm just going to learn the ins and outs of, like, how to connect all of these. So for me, it was just realizing that, like, I wanted to be at home. I wanted to create something of my own, and I couldn't create something of my own with nursing. I just couldn't. But with this, I could create something. Beachbody already did the hard part of creating the product. Now I get to create my own business and connect with it and make it unique and make it fun. And it was fun to do, and it sucked to think about not getting to do it. So that was like, that moment actually happened twice to me until I finally listened.
No, and I think the takeaway from that is you have to think of it this way, that your purpose has to be greater than your fear. And I think all of our purposes are so great. So anytime you're sitting there and questioning, do I do this? Do I post this? What are people going to think? Am I doing this right? Do it anyway, because your purpose is greater than your fear. That's what it's all about for me too. And Carrie's saying, like, I can't even imagine my life without being a coach in Beachbody and all of you and my Beachbody family. I literally can't imagine my life without it now. You know, I had doubts last year too. There was a time back in May that I questioned whether I was good enough to ever be a Melanie Mitro. And now I'm like, move over, Mel. There's a Lindsay in town. Like, you have to feel that way. You have to believe that you can do this. Because all of us are unique, and all of us are going to get there. And I'm just so excited because that shift that Carrie has, like, anybody can have it. You know, so if any of you are sitting there with any kind of self-doubt, with any kind of fears, identify it and work through it. And then once you've worked through it, take action and implement the things you've learned into your business, you know? And I loved the boost. Carrie, thank you for that. And for those who weren't able to write it down at the time, it was breathe, originality, organized, systems, and track your progress. And, you know, I would challenge all of us, and I'm going to do this too. I'm going to look at these things and evaluate myself on each one of these letters. And I'm going to see where I can improve, you know, and I'm going to see what I need to work on. You know, blaring in front of me is organized. Boop, 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 boop. So I know that one's going to be a trouble area for me. But, you know, it's important to evaluate yourself in that way. And please, Carrie, if you could upload that file, that you, the Melanie Mitro call, that would be amazing, into the team page. I think that would be helpful for all of us.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's see here. It's 8:44. Does anybody else? Oh, so I was going to ask if anyone else had anything to share.
I have a question for Carrie. So when you took a month off, like, what did you do about your challenge groups?
I didn't have one.
Oh, so you don't have any?
I honestly didn't have a challenge group for 3 months, but nobody knew except for Lindsay, I think.
But here's
That's
the
problem.
thing.
I want to take time to like focus on like, because I've been thinking about like that exact thing. Like I keep saying to myself, like I wish I had like time to focus on that. And for now, I've been like setting out parts of the day. But I find lately I'm so busy with my challenge groups, I'm having a hard time forming, because I'm like I've got like so much going on with my challengers. So I don't really know if they're, how you balance that.
So
if you don't mind, Carrie, so when Carrie says she took the month off, I would argue that she did more in that month than she had done in previous months. She hadn't sold a challenge pack in a few months, and she sold one in December, and she was working on her website. Like, she was doing all these things in the background. So, Holly, to your point, you put so much love and effort into your challenge groups, which is amazing. But I think you need to just evaluate this as a business and see where you can cut time, create these systems, that's in the boost analogy, and figure out how you can carve out time, from that to put into working on, your business and working on your systems and things like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you do so much. Like, you make meal plans for every one of your challengers, which is incredible.
I thought you had to. That's my biggest problem is I thought I had to do a lot of things. Like, I thought that coaches had to make an entire meal plan for each challenger, which is totally what I do. Now what I've done, though, I've gone through and I've like made myself kind of like model meal plans for each kind of bracket, and then I have challengers send me the list of foods they like, and I'm able to tweak them quickly rather than spending like 3 hours on one meal plan, because that's what I would be doing. I'd fall asleep making people's meal plans every night. Like, I'd be dreaming of food. It was crazy.
So to also add to what you were asking, when I say 3 months, like 2 of them were just because I wasn't making any. Nobody was buying a challenge pack. Anybody that was in like a challenge group before, I was reaching out to them. They really didn't want to be in one right then. We were heading into the holidays, blah, blah, blah. So like when I said I took like December off, it was probably the month that I worked the hardest on top of having like family here and Christmas. But I knew that I had that mindset change. Like, the amount of work and effort that you put into your challenge group, put into a blog or a website, have meal plans already on there. And then when you have challengers, generate them, be like, hey guys, check out blah, blah, blah on my website. And then you already have meal plans uploaded there. Then you bring those meal plans and you flash them over to Facebook, and you boost the daylights out of them. And then you're literally giving people something free. And then people will be like, oh, so don't eliminate that effort that you're putting into your challenge group. Just do it in a different way so that it actually works for you and you're not feeling so like burnt, so that when you go into the next month, you're like exhausted and like not ready to.
Like, I sign up challengers and I'm almost like dreading the beginning of the month, because I know at the beginning of the month I have like all these challengers starting and all these meal plans to make.
But here's the thing, Holly, like, you're in control. Like, this is your business. This is your business. You don't have to do anything. There's no rubric. There's no, must do 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't have to do anything. So what you really need to do is sit down and think, how can I make this business make me happy? Because there is no point of being a Beachbody coach if it's not making you happy.
Right.
Like, it's supposed to be like our happy place, These are our passions. It's our purpose. It's creating a life by design. It's what we want. It's what fills us and fills our tank. And if your tank is empty right now, you need to fill it up and take action now to set your business up in a way that makes you happy. And you either and I know you've done so much, but don't be afraid to let go of things. Don't think you have to keep doing it. What's one of my favorite lines right now that I've been hearing over and over in my head is, either let go or let it drag you down. You let it go or you let it drag you down. And it's so true. We're in control. You're in control of your own destiny. You're in control of what you do every day. Well, besides with our kids, because really they run the show. But other than that, when it comes to our business, we run the show.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. I hope it sounded like I was yelling at you. I'm not trying to yell at you.
No, you should yell at me. No, I'm good.
Oh.
No, this is a really good call. This is great. You know what? Before I stop talking, Carrie said, it is so funny that you said that thing about Meg. I always go to Color Me because that's what I thought her name was for a really long time. It's funny when you meet people. I'm like, oh, your name is Meg. Huh. Okay. But anyways, I remember that night you were like sitting by your little light with your, your sweatshirt on, like, and like you were like, I remember you had these kind of like crazy eyes and you were like, what do I do? Like, I don't know what to do. And she was like, get in mom's group. And I just think it's so cool watching you now. It's like a completely different person. And seeing that for me was really eye-opening because I feel like that's what I need. Like, I need that, like,
crazy eye look.
I love what I do, but sometimes I'm just like, I've got to find an easier way to do it in a way that like works better for me.
Well, and from that other side, like once you're building this team, to watch your coaches go through that transformation adds a whole nother incredible, amazing level to this. And to Carrie's point, that's why we can't be afraid to ask people to coach. Let's grow our family. Let's help each other all become successful businessmen and businesswomen and just rock this. Like that, this is the exciting thing, Is anybody else having any fears or challenges or questions in general?
I have a question. I know like most of you guys have kids and like stay home moms doing this, and I'm still working full time, like trying to just start out now because I know like after I get married, we're going to try to have kids right away. And then I'm hoping this is all because I want to be a stay-at-home mom. So I'm like, well, like when Carrie was first asking me, I was like, well, let me just get through the year first, because it was like challenge group and then be a coach and do this. And I get it now, but I was like, hold on, like slow down a minute. I need to get through the year. I'm planning a wedding. But like, it's just hard for me now because I work like, 40 to 50 hours a week. And then I'm trying like at night and on the weekends to do this stuff. Like, would you have any tips on like trying to start it out while I don't have the time to put as much time to put into it yet?
Creating a solid power hour for yourself is going to be really important, and prioritizing too, focusing on the things that are going to move your business forward, which will always be talking to people. So if you can only do a couple things a day, in your window in the morning or your window at night, or, when you're peeing in the stall at work, just kidding. Then it's reaching out, connecting, building relationships. Like that's like on top of your list of priorities. But I'm also making a commitment to the team to bring on a guest speaker. I have someone in mind that is like kicking butt right now. And she has a full-time job that she enjoys. And I want her to come on the call to talk about how she does her power hour and how she schedules time to work on her Beachbody business while working full time. So that's coming too.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, and Lisa, we can talk too about like specifics on like the power hour, because you'll hear a lot about the power hour. The first year it was like your power hour, and I was like, well, what do I do in the power hour?
Yeah, I just have like scattered. I mean, Lindsay, you don't know this, but I work from home a lot. So my like time, my days aren't consistent. I'm like on the road or at home. So I kind of just like squeeze stuff in when I can, and it's not always like the same time or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But or it's not always an hour at once, I would say. I kind of just like, I don't know.
Which is totally fine too. I know what you mean. A lot of times, like, you know, my activities get split in the morning or at night. Like, so I totally get that. But I mean, Carrie's like rocking her systems right now. So I have a feeling that between the two of you, you're going to come up with like a really good plan for how to prioritize your time.
Yeah, and I'm going, she probably told you, but I'm going to visit next month. So I'm like really excited to like, I mean, I'm going to visit because we're friends too, but we'll obviously do some like coach stuff too. So that'll be good. Right?
Hey.
Right?
Maybe I'll crash the party.
Yeah.
I said, maybe I'll crash the party and fly down.
All right.
Good.
And one more question. I'm like hogging this thing.
No,
But
please.
how do you get access to the podcast? I've never done any podcasts before.
Lindsay, you told me I use Podbay.
Yeah, so I have an app on my phone called, I was going to bring it up, but I don't know why I'm even like bringing it up. It's not, but this is Podbay. You just download Podbay and there's a search function. It's a free app.
Okay.
Search function, and you can look up whatever podcast you want. It's
Okay.
It's been life-changing because I listen to it in my car.
Yeah.
I have my headphones in while I'm making lunch for the kids. Like, you can squeeze in. They're like 15 minutes. Like,
Oh, that's good. Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then, did you want to, because Lindsay, I know Lindsay made the suggestions to me, the Build Your Tribe by Chalene Johnson, and then the Chalene Show for motivation, and then Entrepreneur on Fire. So those are still my 3 go-to podcasts.
Yep.
And then I don't know if Lindsay has new ones that she's into.
I mean, the only other one I like, if I just need to get like pumped up and not like business sense, but just like motivational personal development, I like one called The Charged Life. So that one's really good. But yeah, usually those are my go-tos, the ones that Carrie said.
So then if we're all listening to the same thing, we will all think alike.
And Steph, I feel like I might have seen your little microphone go off. Did you have a question too?
It was kind of half a question, half a statement, I guess. Yeah. I was going to ask about the podcast because I've never seen one in my life, so thank you, Lisa, for beating me through it. I had no idea about any of that. And I just wanted to, I'm kind of in the same boat, Lisa. I'm working 2 jobs right now. I have my 2 boys 5 to 6 days a week. I'm a school counselor, so I have to do a lot of things at home for my students too. So I've been trying really, really hard to, that whole hour thing is really difficult for me because I saw, who was it? Cynthia. You had the whole pee breaks thing. Like, I will literally go on Facebook in the bathroom just to have a minute away from my office and my kids and everything to try to like get on and get involved. And I have had a hard time putting it all in like a single hour too. And it needs to be in the morning because if I can get my ass up, I'm awesome in the morning. It's just a matter of actually doing it. So I guess where I was going with that was just it is difficult, and it's kind of encouraging to see, you know, I know a lot of you guys who stay at home, and I wish I could, and that's a goal that I have for someday if I have my own kids. And, you know, with the boys, I have them like they are mine. They're my godchildren. I post them everywhere, so you guys will see them. They pretty much live with me. And, you know, I'd like to be able to do that, but one of my goals, and I'm saying it out loud because if I say it out loud, it means that y'all are going to hold me accountable, and I need that. Within like the next 2 weeks, I am going to have a system where I am up in the morning and my power hour is before work because that's the time that I'm going to get in the mindset for the right part of the day. And I needed to say that out loud. So thank you. So hold me to that, okay?
We will. There's some great checklists out there, Power Out, to like if you're a visual person and you like running down a list, like, you know, like we can upload some stuff into the page to help you with that. And I feel like there was one more thing I was going to say. But, I was actually going to say, I think that, you know, me and Carrie are actually the only stay-at-home moms. Like, Cindy does both. She, like, works and she stays at home. So she's, like, she does it all. Ooh, something. She does it all. But otherwise, I think everyone else has full-time jobs on the team. So, Yeah, so you're definitely not alone. Don't feel like you're alone in feeling like there's or April stays home too. So it's me and April and Carrie. I think we're the three that stay home. But yeah, so that's something that I'm working towards too. I really want to help because I totally get as your leader, like I'm a stay-at-home mom. I don't have the same schedule as the majority of the team. So that's why I'm committing to get someone, a guest speaker on the call that I think is going to be really, really helpful for all of you that, have jobs too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Steph, can I just ask, like, what time do you need to get up to get yourself ready to get out the door to like get to work?
Well, optimally, it doesn't necessarily happen every day, but like 6 o'clock at the latest. So I need to be up at like 4:45 in order to get that power hour before that.
Okay.
So that's kind of what I've been trying to get. If I've tried to tell my boss I can't close nights at the restaurant during the week because that's just not going to be feasible for me to wake up at 4:45 if I'm not home till midnight. Like it's just can't happen.
What time do you do your workout?
It changes every day. That's been a hard part for me too, even just in life before I decided to coach. Because sometimes it's in the morning, sometimes it's between school, work, and actually I go to school too on top of everything. So I'm in grad school too. So before I go to class, sometimes it's at night at 10 o'clock. Like what I've found I needed to do was I have to write out a schedule on Sunday when I'm going to work out and actually put it in my calendar because on Monday it's, 5 in the morning. On Tuesday it's 11 o'clock at night because I have no other time. So it's different every day.
Okay. I was just trying to think to help with a system. Because something that I learned is that when they say to like, it would be hard for you working full time to post like 5 to 6 times a day,
Yeah.
So that's why I said like, if you got into a routine of doing your workout in the morning, you've got a post right there. You've got your morning workout, you've got a post right there. And then you do that every day. And every day people are seeing that. Like, girl works out every single day.
And how inspiring is that? All of the stuff you do, but you're still like, that's the stuff that people see. And they're like, if she can do it, I can do it. Like, give me some of that,
To get out there. It's not impossible. It just takes some juggling.
Right. But not a lot of people even think that they could possibly do it. So that's, amazing. And that's what this is all about. It's pushing ourselves to a new place and a new extreme, and then also inspiring others to do the same. It's this big domino effect. So I agree with Carrie. If you get that workout in the morning, because that's first. Like, we don't want you to work and not work out. Like, this starts with you. So you get that in and just do a quick post, and you have a morning post that's like kick butt.
That's true. I didn't think about it that way. Thank you.
And maybe the night before you come up with a motivational quote you're going to put with the picture. So you're not sitting there like, what am I going to post about with the picture? If you have that, or like have a list of your favorite motivational quotes that you can put with those pictures in the morning, that's going to save you time too,
True. Awesome. Thank you so much.
So, and then like just post in the morning and post in the evening.
Yeah.
That's when most people are on Facebook anyways. So that's when you want to get the most eyes on it anyways. I've learned that at noontime, nobody's looking on Facebook. Like, I don't have nearly as many eyes on it. So on your lunch break, if you can make it a habit to reach out to 3 people, say, I'm going to help 3 people. I'm just going to say hi. I'm going to see how they're doing. And I'm going to remind them of something. And doing that, it is going to keep you consistent with it, but it's also going to work with your schedule, because your workout should be first and like taking care of you. Because as soon as it doesn't become fun, as soon as this doesn't become like you having transformation and feeling good and working on yourself, the business stuff doesn't matter. It just like, it goes down the crapper. So
Very true.
All right, guys, this was a fantastic call. Thank you all so much. And Carrie, a special thank you to you. You're amazing. You're beautiful. You're wonderful. This was so helpful for the team. It was recorded. So for any team members who didn't get to watch it, I'll be uploading for them as well. So I hope everyone has a great night. And if you have questions, obviously, me and Carrie are here to answer them too. All right, guys. Love you.